Every wild creature is born with one primal instinct already hardwired into its mind. Humans are the greatest threat on Earth. Inside the brain of a wolf, an elephant, or even a whale, there is a constant threat assessment system running 24/7. It calculates our speed, our direction, and even the smallest movements we make with astonishing precision. And the result is almost always the same: run immediately. This is not something they learn through experience, but a genetic code carved deep into their blood through millions of years of evolution. But what happens when that powerful survival instinct is suddenly shattered by a situation nature never prepared them for? When an animal becomes trapped in fishing nets or caught in wire snares, its body enters an extreme physiological state that scientists call a cortisol storm. Adrenaline surges to potentially lethal levels, the heart races several times faster than normal, and every muscle in the body locks into tension. At that moment, if a human approaches, the animal's warning system interprets it as the final stage of a hunt. The predator is coming to finish the kill. And yet, even in that worst possible moment, something strange can sometimes happen. Something researchers describe as the suspension of the threat response. Just look at what happened off the coast of San Francisco to a 50-ton humpback whale tangled in dozens of heavy crab traps. When the divers descended with sharp knives in hand, the massive creature did something that defied all biological logic. It stopped struggling completely. For more than an hour, it kept itself suspended calmly at the surface. It even turned its body on purpose, adjusting the angle of its fins and tail so the strangers could more easily reach the ropes tightening around it. One unconscious flick of its tail would have been enough to kill anyone nearby, yet the whale chose to remain perfectly still. Science suggests that because the humans moved slowly and showed no signs of aggression, the whale's alarm system lost its anchor point. It could not recognize any familiar predator pattern within its instinctive memory, and so it stayed still, waiting for something its species had never experienced before. Or take the story of the wolf caught in a trap in Yellowstone. Instead of baring its teeth and attacking as the researchers approached, it suddenly sat down and looked directly into their eyes. In the language of mammals, maintaining direct eye contact without aggression is an incredibly complex form of social communication. The wolf did not run away the moment the trap snapped open. It remained at the edge of the forest, staring deeply into the eyes of the people who had saved it for a few silent seconds before disappearing into the darkness. We often ask ourselves, do they truly understand the help being given to them? The truth is, science has never been willing to make an absolute claim. Researchers remain extremely cautious with words like gratitude or understanding. And yet, they also cannot ignore the existence of spindle neurons in the brains of elephants and whales. Cells closely linked to empathy and rapid social decision-making. These creatures possess neural structures complex enough to recognize difference between a hand that causes pain and a hand that ends it. The clearest evidence may lie in what happens after the danger has already passed. Baby elephants in Kenya, after being pulled from deep mud pits, often do not run away immediately to rejoin the safety of their herd. Instead, they pause and gently touch the rescuer's hands with their trunks, organs filled with powerful muscles and incredibly sensitive nerves. That behavior lasts longer and carries a clear sense of intention, a touch that feels more like exploration than a simple physical reaction. From a biological perspective, the action makes no sense for survival. Once free from danger, the animal should conserve energy and leave immediately. Yet instead, they choose to stay. They choose to remain for a few more moments beside the very creatures that have long been their natural enemies. Perhaps we will never have a precise answer measured through numbers or graphs. Science can explain hormone levels and pattern recognition systems, but those explanations cannot fully reach the deeper meaning of these moments. What we do know is that some quiet connection seems to have formed. When a whale circles back around divers after being freed, or when a wolf pauses for one last look before disappearing into the forest, we are forced to admit something remarkable. It feels as though a thread of understanding is vibrating between two different worlds. They may not understand the concept of a rescue, but their actions suggest they recognize that the natural order has just been interrupted by something greater than the instinct to kill. And perhaps we find meaning in those moments because deep within the silence, both humans and animals seem to sense a shared language that science still has no name for.